What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Litecoin today, LTC USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 13th day of August, and here we are at about $129.82. 5 hours, 26 minutes left in the day. Had a little bit of a high today at $134 and came back down. Nothing too crazy. We might find turbulence in this area. I mean, as unexpected as that might be, it should be fully expected because we found turbulence in this area plenty of times before. Come back down, find support somewhere at a higher low, and then we'll be on our merry way to breaking out of this long-term accumulation range that we've been in for a very long time. Let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll come back out to the long-term. You guys know how I like to do. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, the RSI, I mean, actually, I don't mind the RSI here. You could bounce right here. Stochastics are in the oversold zone. MACD is crossed. I mean, you're probably closer to bouncing than you are to going lower, but I still think you go lower. I would think that we go, you're at 129.7. Go to 127. 127, maybe 126. You could go lower, and if you do go lower, I'm not worried about you at all, but you are in a good area to bounce as well. So anything could happen, but looking at that daily time frame makes me a little bit momentarily bearish. And then also just assuming that we're about to have a shakeout in the whole markets before we really start to pump and move up higher. It also kind of puts me on edge with calling for higher prices immediately right now. 4 hour time frame rejecting the overbought zone. Yes, stochastics coming out. MACD looks fine, but you could cool off. Yeah, the 4 hour reinsures my belief that we are going to see a little bit of a retracement here. How much lower do we go? That's the question, I suppose. Let's look at this from a low to a high. Yeah, 126, 120. I'm not really sure if you get below 120, but maybe like 114 at the lowest, 111 at the lowest. I doubt that you get any lower than that, but I like 120, 126. You're at 129 now, so nothing crazy, man. Nothing too crazy at all. Everything else on the 4 hour kind of does suggest, except for the MACD, really suggests that you could cool off. I wouldn't say the MACD suggests you can cool off, but if you did cool off, it's okay with that. It's so 2 out of 3 suggesting, 1 not really caring if you go up or down, whatever. Daily time frame here, a little bit of a double top in the stochastics, which whatever. RSI is having a hard time getting overbought, but that's okay. MACD is building. We love to see it. I still think, yes, even with this, that you're going to come down a little bit. Again, just a little bit. I expect that the markets will shake out over the coming days. So with that, you'll move down a little bit. Litecoin does kind of have a more tame reaction whenever it comes to these shakeouts. So I'm not like Bitcoin could drop more on a percentage basis than Litecoin does over the coming days. And then from there, we should be moving up higher, you guys, breaking out higher. Looking at the weekly time frame here, this is where things really start to get exciting. We've been in this massive accumulation phase since 2022, like the middle of 2022, early parts of 2022. We've been in this area, and here we are, the end of 2025. Crazy that we're already there. We're more like a 3/4 of a way there almost. But still in the latter parts of 2025, looking like we want to break out of this range. And when we do, we should see a fantastic result of that. I'm expecting the biggest move of the bull cycle for Litecoin that's been so far. I expect it to happen on this next rip up, and we should be moving up to $300 to $400. 300 is the low end, 400 is the high end, but I am personally expecting that we see something around 400 more than 300. I would expect the price goes closer to $400 than it does 300. Now, does that mean that we cross 400? No, we could stop, maybe we stop at 380, 360. We stop right here at about 390, whatever. Maybe we break a little bit above 400, we see 420, and we stop right there. But I do think something in this area, 318, 420, somewhere in that area there makes a lot of sense to me. That's probably where we'll stop. Getting ready, set up, consolidating for our next phase higher to new all-time highs altogether. Looking at this here, I would kind of compare it to XRP. If you guys know the XRP chart where it moved up, it had its long, boring accumulation phase, multi-cycle consolidation phase, broke out, came up to its all-time highs rather immediately, and then it consolidated. I don't think we'll consolidate for 6 months like XRP did, or 7 months, however long it was, but we'll consolidate here for a time, and then end of cycle finale should take us to new all-time highs. I'm anticipating when that happens, we're going to see an explosive rally with Litecoin, because the difference here with Litecoin and XRP, and the reason why I think Litecoin's rally afterwards is going to be even more explosive than the rally going into it, is that XRP has been, and there's people who believe in Litecoin, but XRP is one of those coins that a lot of people just seem to believe is going to go higher, right? And it's got fundamental reasons for that. It's not like they just believe it's going to go higher for no reason, but it also has a higher market cap. There's a lot more faith. With Litecoin getting up here, potentially seeing new all-time highs, there's a lot of people who doubted this thing, who are going to see it for what it is, who are going to look into it and realize, oh, this thing's actually got the third highest merchant acceptance across the space. Out of all the cryptos that have merchant acceptance rates, or rates of merchant acceptance, which they all do, I guess, have a rate of merchant acceptance, right? It's either 0 or whatever. Litecoin is number 3, right? It's number 3. It's got the third highest rate of merchant acceptance in the crypto space, last I checked. If it's not 3, it's like top 5, but still, even that's crazy, especially for its market cap valuation, right? Merchant acceptance is kind of the key use case for any crypto, I think, whenever it comes to having serious value. So, sorry. So my thoughts are, whenever Litecoin comes up here, it's had more doubt, more shade thrown at it. Wow, what's wrong with my voice? It's had more doubt, more shade thrown at it. So, and it's also got a lower market cap. So whenever it comes to breaking out of this multi-cycle consolidation phase, as big of a move as this is, I would anticipate we see an even bigger move coming out of it, okay? Looking at this from a high to a low back over here, basically the high to low of your consolidation, your multi-cycle consolidation phase here. Not the all-time high, but just the high to low there. I would expect that Litecoin, at a minimum this cycle, sees a $2,100 price. Likely, we stop somewhere at $4,500 to $6,300. That's where I think we'll end by the end of this cycle here, sometime in early 2026, like May or April is my thoughts. Or maybe we do go all the way up to about 13.5, but I'm starting to think less so that we do that. Anything can happen, though. Anything can happen. All it takes is a few big nation states to address that they are adding Litecoin to their crypto stockpile reserves, and this thing could really fly, man. It's one of those coins that I feel like it's overlooked, but time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. There's a lot going on, a lot of good things, and clearly you can see, like if we were looking at this wasn't Litecoin, this was just some random stock. This is clearly a bullish accumulation phase, right? You've got a bullish phase of accumulation here, right here in this zone, and then just overall. When this breaks, it's going to be spectacular. You'll see moves of the like of what you saw back here in 2017. It's going to be spectacular, absolutely miraculous. And again, I'm expecting that this will really start to take shape between now and the end of September. We'll be up at $300 to $400, maybe a little bit above 400. And then going into the beginning of 2026, we should be reaching for those multi-$1,000 prices. 2,000 at a minimum. What was it? It was like 2,000 something. 2,100 at a minimum, 6,300 at a maximum. Really, 13,000 is the maximum, but we'll see if we get there. Hit the like button. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.